Hey guys, so we are just a week away from the premiere of the first episode of Dragon Ball Daima. So I want to talk about what implications that could have on Dragon Ball Legends, when we can expect to see some characters from Dragon Ball Daima be introduced into Legends, and just sort of what the trajectory might look like in terms of the ramp up of the Daima stuff coming to the game. So there's going to be a few things we're going to look through here. The first thing is going to just be quickly a summary of this upcoming event called the Daimatsuri, which is basically like a Daima festival. This is an event held in Japan. Actually, technically, if I signed up, I could have gone to this, but this is an event being held on the 6th. So this video, I think, should be going up on the 4th of October. This event is being held on the 6th, which is a Sunday. And it is basically just to celebrate the launching, technically, of Dragon Ball Daima, and they actually are going to be showing the first episode of Daima at this event. I don't believe the first episode is going to be streamed anywhere, though, and I think for everybody else who's not going to this event, we're going to have to wait until the 11th to see the first episode, which is when it's being televised. So it's like a 5-day in advance early preview at the first episode at this event. But besides that, there are also going to be some things not pertaining to just Daima. If you scroll in a little bit or zoom in a little bit here, we can see there are going to be a lot of Dragon Ball related games and stuff that are going to be present at this event. This is like a convention, almost like a 1-day, almost mini convention. We have the main stage. We have the gift shop over here, the Fusion World card game, Super Divers. By the way, if you guys don't know what Super Divers is, this is going to be essentially the replacement for Heroes. This game is coming out with its first set. It should be next month, and this is actually going to be the first time where they're going to be revealing information about their very first set. So I'm actually very interested in this. But the Welcome Zone, we have Sparking Zero stuff over here. We have Dokkan and Legends stuff over here. So again, Legends is actually going to be present here, and we'll talk about a little bit more in detail in a second. And then we just got some like toy stuff down here and whatnot. But let's scroll down to the schedule. I think there's a schedule down here. So this is, again, only a 1-day event. Starting at 10 up until 11:30, 11:15-ish, there is going to be a screening of Dragon Ball Daima Episode 1. This is the world premiere. And then they're going to have a lot of the cast come up to the stage, and it's sort of going to be like, I don't know, just like an early access event where you get to not meet the cast, but they're going to be on the stage and doing like introductions and stuff like that. So essentially the full cast. I think they actually list the cast members here. If you scroll up a little bit, yeah, here we go. We have, of course, all the different main characters here. Also, we have people who are doing like the intro and the outro of the anime as well. Then we have some individual stages as well. We have a Sparking Zero stage here. So there's going to be a bunch of guests. There's Victory Uchida, who's like the V-Jump guy, always wearing like the yellow V hat. Victory Asada, who is, I think, the guy in the red hat. And then the Sparking Zero producer. Then we have Super Divers. Again, this is the first time that they're actually going to be showing off like concrete information about the first set of Super Divers. So they also technically don't even have a release date for the first set, but everybody knows it's going to be in November. Then they're actually going to show episode 1 of Daima again. I think it's because there's different tickets, like depending on what time you are at the convention. They're just showing it like periodically throughout the day. There's one at 10, there's one at 2:15, there's one at 6 p.m. too. Here we have a Fusion World stage, and then here we have a Dokkan and Legends shared stage, which is only 30 minutes. So for Dokkan, Omatsu and Geppi, I don't know who that is gonna be there. And then they're gonna have Toshi for Legends. So Toshi actually will be present at this event for, I guess, representing Legends, obviously, as the producer of the game. So there's going to be some involvement that Legends has with this event. I don't think they're going to show anything groundbreaking here. I guess it's not out of the question, but I would temper expectations specifically regarding like new character announcements and stuff like that. Again, it's possible, but we'll see. Because I think if this is something that we're actually gonna have like a new character announced at or something, I think they would have already at least given a heads up on social media and be like, hey, you know, the Dragon Ball Legends team is going to be present at the Daimatsuri. We're going to be showing off some information about Legends, so just heads up. But there's been nothing about that so far, so I think it's probably safe to assume there's going to be no gigantic announcements. So anyway, I just wanted to put this out here because this obviously is related to the topic of Dragon Ball Daima. Here are the 3 times you could enter. One, it's at 10 a.m., 2:15, and 6. So yeah, just wanted to show this. Some cool event they have going on. Next, I wanted to show that there is actually currently a login bonus for Daima ongoing in-game. And this was actually introduced, I believe, during the reveal and stuff for the Turles Crusher Core characters and Tree of Might Goku's release. They said there's going to be a Daima login bonus to count down to the actual premiere of the anime. And this actually does go away on the day the anime is going to premiere, which is the 11th. So it truly is a countdown login bonus. And typically when we have countdown login bonuses, there is something that happens after the countdown login bonus is over. They don't actually say anything specifically regarding that. Like, it's not like, oh, stay tuned at the end of the login bonus, there's going to be something special. Like, they don't say anything here, but this is at least, again, something in-game that's referring to Daima, which I think is pretty important. So I think if we take a look at just the timing of when Daima comes out and the timing of the Z Movies campaign essentially ending right as Daima's beginning, there is a solid argument to be made that there could potentially be some Daima stuff coming out this month. And I think if I had, this is kind of the conclusion that I'm going to be talking about in this video, but the conclusion to like the question of when do I think Daima stuff's coming to Legends, I would say there are 2 possible highly likely, I would say, landing spots for Daima. And when I say for Daima, I mean specifically when we could see Daima characters coming to the game in the form of summonable characters. The first one is this month. Daima releases this month. I think if they're going to release Daima characters right now, we're obviously not going to be getting the major characters. This is basically like superhero drops, and they don't drop Beast Gohan right away, but instead we end up getting maybe like Power Awakening Piccolo and Pan, and like not the crux of the movie, not the pinnacle of hype of the movie, but slowly start to drip feed us some of the characters that appeared in the movie. I think that could be something that we see for Daima. So like this month, if they wanted to go with a Daima banner, I think we could end up seeing something like this that we saw when Superhero was coming up. This banner, by the way, didn't even release when the movie released. This banner, if we go, I think it's, yeah, so it says this banner released on April 27th. Remember, Superhero did not come out until June. So there was quite a while in between when this banner came out, when the movie actually premiered, and these Gamma 1 and 2 characters were actually based off of just the animations from the Superhero trailer. So they really saw the Superhero trailer and they're like, all right, let's just start pumping up these characters. And then they just, sort of gave them the animations from the trailer. And obviously since then we've had the LF Gamma 1 and 2, so there's been upgraded versions of this character, but they definitely were pretty proactive in getting characters from the movie out as soon as possible. Because it's basically like over a month from the actual premiere of the movie, and look how long this is up for. April 27th to July 20th. It's like almost 3 months long. But I think it is possible that maybe this month we could end up seeing a banner similar to this. Since they haven't really done anything regarding Daima in game yet in terms of summonable characters, even though we have gotten some decent trailers. I think it's possible we could end up getting maybe like a Mega Rising, or maybe it's going to be like its own type of banner format. Because technically this banner format is just specifically for the movie, the collaboration summon. This kind of reminds me of way back in the day, if you guys were playing way back when the Dragon Ball Super Broly was like just coming out. They did multiple versions of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie collaboration summon. They just were like adding characters to the same banner and essentially just re-releasing the same banner over and over again. First, it was Purple transforming Dragon Ball Super Broly, which actually, I believe he came out the day the movie came out. So that was the first thing. The next iteration of the banner was God Vegeta. It was just yellow Super Saiyan God Vegeta on the same banner. And then the final iteration of the movie collaboration banner, I think it was actually called Dragon Ball Super Movie Collaboration Final or something. That had transforming base Gogeta into Super Saiyan Gogeta, the blue one. Not Super Saiyan Blue, like the actual element color blue. People are making jokes, oh, it's Gogeta Blue, but it's not actually Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. But yeah, they basically released the same version of the banner a million times with like one new character per banner. But that was how they sort of drip fed us characters from Super Broly on the same type of banner. So I could kind of see them maybe doing the same thing. You know, Dragon Ball Daima collaboration summon banner, like Volume 1 comes out. And maybe it's like Goku Mini, because that's what the names are going to be. It's going to be Goku Mini, Vegeta Mini, maybe it's like Supreme Kai Mini. I don't know, whatever all other characters are going to be in there. I don't even think they've shown Gohan yet. But obviously there's going to be some new characters introduced as well. So we'll see how they're going to handle that. But I think that's something that we could potentially see for October. I'm not sure if that's something that would take up the entire month, though. We did end up getting this Goku last week. I'm not exactly sure what this Goku is referring to. I think there's really two possibilities here. This is a Majin Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We are still currently in the Z Movies campaign, and they drop a Majin Buu Saga Goku, right? Typically what happens is they like to split up campaigns by month. So this Z movie celebration essentially lasted for 2 months. It was a very, very long and drawn out campaign that definitely way too long. I think most people would agree. The pacing was kind of bad. Overall, the celebration just was too long. And now we're into October, and I assume this guy coming out will signify the start of a new campaign somehow. Right? That's typically how they do this with free-to-play characters. For Goku, he is on the Buu Saga. And I think I might have mentioned this briefly in my breakdown video for this Goku, but I think this could be one of two things. The first possibility is we are about to enter into a new Majin Buu Saga celebration. I'm not sure if they're going to keep the Saga campaign format, the episode campaign format, or not. I think for now, it's better just to assume that they are going to maintain that format, even though I'm not really a huge fan of it. But this guy could indicate a Majin Buu Saga episode campaign, or if you guys have been following the previews we've seen so far for Daima and what they've said about Daima so far, Dragon Ball Daima is supposed to take place in between the Majin Buu Saga and Battle of Gods, Dragon Ball Super, the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. They keep adding stuff in between the end of the Buu Saga and the end of Z. Pretty soon, we're going to reach a point where there's actually more stuff in between the Buu Saga and end of Z than the entirety of Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't know how much more stuff they can add in that little gap of time, but Dragon Ball Daima is supposed to take place between when Kid Buu was defeated and the start of the Battle of Gods saga in Dragon Ball Super. So this Goku being a Majin Buu Saga character, and specifically a character from the final fight of the Buu Saga, I think it's at least feasible that this character could represent us moving into Daima stuff, because this is the character that really is the version of Goku that is right before when Daima would begin. So that could be a sign as well that maybe October is going to be something to do with Daima. We will see. The other option in terms of where we could see some Daima characters, I think actually is going to be Legends Fest. Now, it is a bit early to start speculating on Legends Fest stuff, I think, but this year is actually, I think, going to be a bit of a strange year. I don't really know how best to word it. If we take a look at the calendar and we go back to 2023, and honestly, if we go back to every single year that we've had Legends Fest always ends up being Black Friday every single year. We go to 2023, Black Friday is the 24th of November. If we go to 2022, Black Friday is the 25th of November. 2021, Black Friday is the 26th of November. If we go to 2024, Black Friday is the 29th of November, which is a little late. I'm not sure if that's going to play into the plans that they have for Legends Fest or not. Like, I'm not sure. Are they going to push it back to the 22nd, or are they comfortable with the 29th being Black Friday? I think a lot of times they probably do intentionally put it to be Black Friday, right? Because obviously they know that's when people have availability for a lot of fund availability, and that's, I assume, the reason why they do that every single year. It's been Black Friday every single year, essentially. But the 29th is pretty late, right? The 24th, 25th, 26th, 29th, it's a little late. I think for now, it's probably best to assume that it is still going to be the 29th is going to be the start of Legends Fest this year, because that's just how the trend has been every single time. So if we assume there are going to be there's going to be one Daima episode every single week, which I think has been confirmed already. We can sort of count and see how many episodes of Daima will have been out before the start of Legends Fest. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So essentially, the 8th episode of Daima will be premiering when the Legends Fest Part 1 banners drop, essentially. I don't think it's been confirmed how many episodes there are going to be in Daima. I think there's been speculation that it's going to be like close to like 20 or 25 or something like that. But I don't believe there was ever an official announcement that gave us a concrete number for how many episodes there are going to be. But yeah, I mean, 8 episodes in, there definitely could be some exciting things they could pull from to make characters. I will say as well that when you compare Daima to Superhero, because I think I'm going to get a lot of comments about this, and I'll just say what I can say about this. Superhero and Daima are essentially completely different circumstances. For Dragon Ball Super, there was a reason why on the day of the movie's release, we didn't get like Beast Gohan or Orange Piccolo dropped in the game. For Daima, that is not the same circumstance, and they most certainly do have information about what's going to be happening in Daima ahead of time, which certainly was not the case for Superhero. So I think, the argument that, oh, well, Superhero didn't drop characters right away, and we got Beast Gohan 3 months later, and, et cetera, that is a solid argument to make, but I am just telling you guys that does not hold up in this case. So I think it is completely within bounds that we could be seeing some actually pretty hype characters dropped for Legends Fest, whether it's going to be Part 1 or Part 2. I don't think they would do an Ultra right away for Daima, so I'm just going to rule out Part 3 for Legends Fest for Daima characters. But Part 1, maybe like it's a dual LF banner format, and maybe one of the LFs is related to Daima, or maybe in Part 2 we could end up seeing a character related to Daima. I think Part 2 for Legends Fest would probably end up being the 11th, probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. 29th, Part 1, 11th. I would have to look more into it, but it's either going to be the 11th or 18th. I don't think it would be the 18th, because that's too close to when Part 3 would drop, because Part 3 is going to drop like here-ish, somewhere in here, so when Part 3 would drop. So I think Part 2 would be over here, which would only be like one more episode of Daima. So yeah, I'm thinking the 2 possible landing spots for Daima are going to be in October or Legends Festival, if they think there is something hype enough to actually, warrant them dropping a Daima, maybe it's a new form for Goku or a new form of Vegeta, or maybe it's like the main villain of Daima could be the Part 2 LF for Legends Fest. I think that could probably work pretty well. But to me, it's either going to be October with like, sort of like a warm-up banner, lesser hype characters, base mini Goku, base mini Vegeta, maybe like I don't even remember his name, the clown-looking guy. I don't remember what his name was, because he's only been one trailer, I think, so far. It is also possible we could end up getting both, right? So they could also do something where it's like, they give us a banner like this in October, simultaneously drop maybe like a Buu Saga campaign at the same time, which is where this guy might come into play in October. So October actually could be pretty loaded, depending on how they want to handle this. Buu Saga campaign in October, plus next week when Daima releases the first episode, they could give us like a warm-up Daima collaboration summon with like mini Goku and mini Vegeta. And then as we move into Legends Fest, maybe like Part 2 or something could be an actual LF from Daima. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, Super Saiyan Green Goku, or whatever Goku's new form will be as we're halfway through the series, or a third of the way through the series, or whatever it ends up being. So that is my prediction for Daima so far. And I would imagine that as we get deeper into the series, because again, if we assume that it's going to be like, let's just say it'll be like 22 episodes, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then we move into 2025. Then we have 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we basically are going to be watching this anime through the end of February. And that's yeah, February, March. I assume there's probably going to be some breaks towards the end of the year. I think there might be a week or two where we don't have an episode or something like that. So I think end of February, like mid to early March, is going to be where the series probably concludes. Which, you know, I would say there's a good chance we could see some hype stuff come out maybe for Daima in March, and maybe they save some of it for potentially the 7th anniversary even. But I would say that starting from right now until like next Legends Fest, not even this coming Legends Fest 2025, we could see some pretty big releases for Daima. And I think that does fit the same timeline we saw for Superhero, right? Superhero released in June 2022. We didn't get Beast Gohan until September, right? I believe Blue Beast Gohan came out in September. I think it was September. It was September or October. Maybe it was October. Maybe, yeah, October. So it was like 3 or 4 months later. Then we didn't end up getting a lot of superhero stuff until the 5th anniversary. And then the next Legends Festival 2023, we ended up getting Red Beast Gohan. So again, Daima stuff could start to come out now. Maybe we'll get like a warm-up banner in October. Legends Fest Part 1 or Part 2 could have stuff. Maybe the anniversary, the 7th anniversary in May/June of 2025 can have stuff. And then even as far as Legends Fest next year, Legends Fest 2025 in 14 months could also have some hype stuff for Daima. So I think over the course of the next like 14, 15 months, we'll see a lot of pretty exciting Daima stuff come out. It's going to depend on what the anime has in store. We don't really know much about the series so far. So I would expect that, you know, any time from now until the end of the year, we could see some Daima stuff. But October or Legends Fest, I think, are the two most likely landing spots. Let me know what you guys think about Daima coming to Dragon Ball Legends. When do you guys expect to see Daima characters? What do you want to see out of Daima? And what do you want to see Legends do with the Daima characters? Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.